Hi everybody, it's me, Mrs. Carter, and today I'm going to be reading you a special story. A story that I wrote for you. It's called Happy Accidents. I wrote it, illustrated it a long time ago for all my students, so I would like to read you the dedication. To my past, present, and future students. Art is life, and life is messy. Mistakes are important lessons. The messy parts can teach you something new if you let them. Are you ready? Happy accidents. If you see her in the hallway, you can always recognize Mrs. Honeydew. She almost floats when she walks by. She is a small woman, but she has a big personality. Mrs. Honeydew smells like flowers and paint. She wears crazy bright outfits with paintbrushes and feathers in her hair. She always wears a patterned apron covered in paint. Mrs. Honeydew even wears necklaces made from colored pencils and rings out of crayons. She looks like a work of art. She sounds really fun, doesn't she? One day, Mrs. Honeydew drops pencil shavings on top of a gluey piece of paper. When she is cleaning up, she's about to throw it away when she takes a second look and sees the beginning of something beautiful. Ta-da! She proclaims, turning around to show everyone. A work of art. Your pencil shavings show off all the hard work you do in the art room. Plus, it's a great way to recycle. Happy accident. Whenever she creates, she celebrates her mistakes. Mrs. Honeydew loves getting inspired, and the happy accidents was just the beginning. That same night in her art studio, she glues pencil shavings in all different ways and adds beautiful colors on top. It looked like something spectacular was growing on her art. Do you see it? What do you think that is? Mrs. Honeydew uses happy accidents to make things special. Instead of getting frustrated, she lets her imagination transform them into works of art. Mrs. Honeydew says, there is no right or wrong in art. There are many ways to solve a problem. She fills her art class with energy while singing and dancing around the room. Sometimes her artists listen and look at beautiful art and learn about faraway places. Mrs. Honeydew loves to get inspiration from famous artists. This painting right here is The Scream by Edvard Munch, and this was painted when the artist was having nightmares. He didn't know how to fix it, so he decided to paint his bad dream, and it made him feel better. One day, a new student named Sasha joins the class. Mrs. Honeydew shows her what they are learning in art. If you make a mistake, turn it into a happy accident. But every time Sasha draws something, she gets frustrated and erases it. By the time Mrs. Honeydew comes back over, tears are streaming down Sasha's face. I want a new paper. Sasha sobs. Don't worry, Mrs. Honeydew says. Let's turn each mistake into something new. Sasha tries, but she feels like it's getting worse and worse. Has that ever happened to you? Happens to me sometimes too. It just means you're an artist. It happens to everybody. Mrs. Honeydew sits down beside her. When something doesn't turn out the way you wanted, you can make it into a happy accident. Instead of throwing your creation away, take a deep breath, look at it again, and keep trying. But Sasha wants it to be perfect. The next day in art, Mrs. Honeydew sprinkles imaginary dust on everyone. We are going on an adventure. Now close your eyes, and this magical dust will give you wondrous wings. A fresh breeze fills the room as she opens the window. Feel the wings grow on your back. Fly out the window, flapping your wings harder and harder. Soaring up, look down below at the tops of the trees as you go higher and higher. See the clouds surround you as you fly in the sky. Now swoop down, and when you land, you will be at a special place that is happy and beautiful. This is a place that is always in your mind. When you feel frustrated, angry, or sad, close your eyes and calm yourself down, Mrs. Honeydew explains. After everyone returns from their happy place, they write stories about their adventure, describing all the details, and begin to draw pictures to show where they went. Sasha loves to write stories, and she can't wait to share her special place with Mrs. Honeydew. After finishing their stories, they paint illustrations with watercolors. That's the picture in the book, an illustration. Mrs. Honeydew sings in a silly voice. Water, paint, puddle, paper. Wash your brush when you get a new color. She gets so enthusiastic that she dances around, singing along with her song. Waving her arms in the air, she still has the paintbrush in her hand, and she splashes paint all over the example. Oops! Happy accident, she exclaims, and she turns all of the splashes into little flowers. Sasha is amazed at how quickly Mrs. Honeydew turns her accident into something special. One day, Mrs. Honeydew wears a long, flowing dress and a fringed shawl and flowers in her hair. She loves to transform herself into famous artists. Today, I am Frida Kahlo, a famous female artist from Mexico, she says. Mrs. Honeydew explains how emotions can be seen in art, and she shows how Frida painted her feelings in self-portraits. Sasha tries to draw a self-portrait showing her emotions like Frida Kahlo, but she keeps feeling overwhelmed. Mrs. Honeydew tells her to close her eyes and go to her special place. When Sasha is ready, she tries again, but the excitement she tried to show looks more like shock. Mrs. Honeydew tells her, "Happy accident! I bet you're pretty shocked right now that you created something so special." Sasha agreed. As the months go by, Sasha feels like a real artist. Mrs. Honeydew has just taught the class about Vincent van Gogh's Starry Night. As music plays, Mrs. Honeydew has the whole class recreate the painting by dancing. Sasha loves to dance and twirls around like a spinning star. Now that you have danced inside a painting, write a poem about what that felt like, Mrs. Honeydew explains. Sasha's poem is about the stars, and the more she thinks about it, she truly feels like a star herself. Sasha can't wait to put her poem into her painting. She wraps every word around each star in her starry night sky, just like Vincent van Gogh did with each broken line. Sasha keeps making mistakes, but now she knows how to turn them into something spectacular. Life is full of mistakes, and when you figure out how to turn them into something different, something special, you have made a happy accident. I wonder what your next happy accident will be. I hope you enjoyed this story. I'm going to include some special activities that are in the back of the book to celebrate our mistakes. So, check out below for all the different ideas. I have a whole list in the back of the book for you to look at. So I'm going to copy this for you and put it below the video so that you can check it out. I hope you enjoyed Happy Accidents. Bye, everybody.